Hi, this is Merlin, and I'm going to try to talk about the V8 memory visualization. So before we talk about the org space, and now we're talking about the cell space and property cell space and map space. So yeah, let's do it. So this space contains cells, property cells, and maps respectively. So each these spaces contains objects which are or the same size. I think the same size is very important. and and if you look why same size is important, because if you look at the reason of it, the key reasons are simpler allocation can be simple, because if it's like fixed size, it is kind of important, and no fragmentation. So if you look this image, there's a internal fragmentation, which is like there's a gap on it. um to make it simple, I'm gonna try to show you the thing. Wait, hold on. Where is the browser? Browser, there's space, drawing. Oh yeah, here is it. So memory, how? So this is like memory thing. So this is like size of it. So before, this is also my mistake. When you store in the memory, when the object or whatever, if the data is stored in the memory, it won't. It is not like Lego. It's not like Lego, so it doesn't look like this. Memory is like there's a size for the each data, and if you store in this, and if next data cannot store in this part, it needs to store in the next. So it's like kind of bit like this. So if you look at it, there's a gap, right? There's a gap. So there's a gap here. This part is the gap because we cannot store it, and that's called fragmentation. So there's like internal fragmentation, but if it's fixed size and is and if it's fixed size, it's kind of easy to use compaction, and look at this, free space, free space, free space, and we can convert it into free space, and we can compact the other object or other data. And if it's not fixed, there's like internal fragmentation. There could be internal fragmentation, and fragmentation can waste memory and complicate memory management. So if you look at the GC, like garbage collector, it just not delete the unused data. It it trying to optimize the application, like to like decrease the memory, and the one of the method is like compaction or sweep or blah blah. There's a lot of it. So yeah, we talk about it, but if we try to see, it also have has some constraints or what kind of object they point, which simplifies collection. So if we try to copy an object, and if we console log it, so that's like that prints it true, right? So because the object, it just not store the data. It's not create the new data. If you copy it, it just points in the origin of the data, and it just not pointed. There's some kind of limitation of how it points, but we don't know it because we like the front end developer can know it. But if you're trying to dig and see what is happening under the hood of the V8 engine, F like memory part, and you can see it, there's a limitation pointing at the object, and it explains a collection. So there's a lot of it. The key, I'm not gonna explain all of it, and there's a limitation constraints, and which is for the type of object, for the cells, for purpose cell, and for the maps, and of course it needs to have constraints of what kind of other object they can point to because it can improve the garbage collection. So if it's like short-lived and long-lived, so we could have constraints because if it's short-lived, we don't have to point it. So now we're gonna try to deep going about server space. What the hell is server space? So they represent word size pieces of data, which can be single integers and refer to the more complex object. So it's kind of hard, but if you try to focus on the word size, the meaning of the word, so word size is like chunk of memory that process can handle it. So if it's like if this system is like operating system is like 32 bits, so word typically 4 bytes, so it reads 4 bytes of word to the process every process. So this kind of word, the meaning of the word is like this. So when V8 refers to cells, it basically means of the storage. So that is like so if you're trying to store some kind of object to the server space, and that means like its simplest and smallest storage because it typically runs word size if it's like 4 bytes. If you have like object, like so, if we are using operating system 64-bit system, and if we have like 8 bytes of object, it possibly store in the server space if it's like even the long lived. And also V8 can use servers to store information of about the type of data they hold, if it's string or not, or like kind of those things. And that's it. So I'm not gonna go deep about this because some people, many people, a lot of people think that like where hold up. Also me think that this wait hold up. Where's that set? This is the truth. So there's a blog of it. A lot of people like translate this blog and they like even nowadays in 2023 and they say oh this is like structure of being memory, but the thing is no, it's not. It changed it changed because and there's no documentation of it, so there's no big description of search space and property search space and map space or code space or blah blah because the the V8 engine is constantly um, developing because that is directly affected to the website or browser. And I ask, I think I replied here. Yeah, I ask V8 developers, the one who work in the V8. He said that serial space and property serial space and map space and old pointer space, so old pointer space is this part. They don't exist anymore, and if there's no documentation on today model or being one reason being that it is still constantly changing. So that's why. So I asked, it doesn't look like this? No, and he said it doesn't look like that anymore. So I'm not gonna like present this really deeply because there's more important part and I don't want to waste time of it. But it is kind of important that the V8 engine is really kind of really optimized in for the developers, and that's it.